hope when OBS cut out, it didn't actually cut out too much of the painting, because I'm going to do a time-lapse video. It'll look really weird if there are pieces missing, that are too big. Now, part of it being a time-lapse is that you can see everything that I did. I like that a lot. I think that that's nice. We're gonna come back. Watching a lot of Community, so now I've taken to saying that's so nice. Because one of the characters on the show says that. Usually I think I say that I like it, or that it looks good. It's the same sentiment, whatever it is. There's a chance it might cut out, and I won't know for a little bit, which sucks, but that's kind of, oops. That's kind of the way these things go sometimes. Until I really start streaming more regularly. I mean, more times, because I do stream, I guess, regularly. I've met all the days that I said I was going to so far. I won't really understand how to fix a lot of these technical problems without just the experience of struggling with them, which sucks, but that's kind of the way things go, it seems like. I'm coming in and I'm blending again. I probably shouldn't be adding stuff to this, adding softness. I'm kind of having fun with it, I guess. Shadow shapes and the light shapes. Trying to really make the edges really different. The outside very, very hard edged, very linear, and the inside very soft. I think that the difference, the contrast between those two edges, is really helping it make it feel interesting. It's just that's not right. Back to the top cloud to edit this one. I don't want to add too much detail to it, but I do want it to be very distinct as a cloud. Like, this is definitely bottom side of a cloud. So I might actually add a little bit of white to the top, even though I just said I don't want to put light things near the edge. But it hints, it's sort of the same language these ones down here are hinting at, where you have the puffs. Now I probably should also figure out how to have chat readable on this screen without casting it. I might set up like a second monitor or something. I have a TV that I could probably figure out how to cast another monitor, another image to, that I wouldn't be streaming. That would be really nice. I think a big part of streaming is being able to respond to chat, and I don't do that very often. Especially right now when my fiance is at work. And I can't just listen to it and look back at it. Very busy. His work is very stressful, yes? Yes. Very frustrating, he says. Ah, such is the way. I think that I don't have good answers for you, only metaphorical. I've been meaning to buy him a rubber duck. He's a programmer and he doesn't have one here. So that's why he struggles sometimes with code. It's because he doesn't have a duck. Yes, Jack? No, isn't that, it's because you don't have a duck, right? How are you liking these clouds, Jack? Jack, look at the clouds. Much stormier. They are more swooshy. Are they nice? Are they better? Like them better? Or do you like them better, like, without all the detail? It makes me feel like the world's a lot larger. I like it. I guess the next step probably be getting I'm distracted because my tea I think is almost ready. I need to go it probably. But I don't really want to leave because if I leave I'll kind of forget what I'm doing. This is too much grass right here. It's too much. I'm gonna tone it down just a little bit. I put it under top cloud. I guess I'll just kind of have to be sold on this cloud for a little bit. See, cloud. It's alright. I try to keep some semblance of organization because keeping the layers can be really versatile. I just forget what I'm doing all the time with them, which is why I tend to merge everything down pretty frequently. I think the next thing to do would probably be to fix this shadow shape over here. This wing is not actually where the wing would be, and I think that that doesn't look quite right. I'm gonna take it out, I think. That. Then I will. Okay, we'll go get a cup of tea. So I think there's a layer for that. Give me 1 second. Find it. Oh, it's behind the clouds. Yep. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go pour my tea so that it. Alright. I am back. Tea's not steeped yet, but I brought the teapot over so that when it's done in about 2 minutes, because it is the orb type tea, loose orb tea, it takes less time than a bag, I can just pour it without getting up again. And what was I was up to? I was fixing the ground edits. Probably use a group for something like that. I think his shadow should probably be way down here and very, very small, actually. If the light's coming down from this direction, being down on these clouds and making this shadow down here, I don't want to put this in the center, which is probably where it would end up being. Nor do I want to put it too close to these clouds because I want them to be set back. I think I'll set it in this this area, this bottom sort of valley that's visible as the hill comes down. So I'll make it very, very, very small. Quite look like that, but silhouette is a little bit different. But I don't want it to be as complicated as other things in the painting because I don't want it to be distracting. It'll probably be foreshortened quite a bit because he's a very large dragon. I can this selection of the dragon shadow, and I can move it around just a little bit and edit it. At a perspective. I was supposed to use artful perspective as another thing. I haven't really done that. I didn't read the whole assignment before starting, which is actually pretty abnormal for me. I tend to kind of a completionist, especially with homework, but I was gearing to draw some clouds. I didn't read all the way through, so this doesn't really have too much perspective, and it doesn't really have a copied reference photo to draw off of. I have my sort of vaguely referenced photo, but that is about it. Point where it's very hard to make without repainting lots of the texture. So for next time, I should read the whole assignment, and I should also plan a little bit longer on what I want to do. I don't think this is turning out badly. It's just not quite right. Not quite what I was supposed to make class. So I'm not learning exactly what I'm supposed to learn. So I'll probably end up finishing this up today and getting it to a finish. And starting a new one tomorrow. Yeah, a new sky, something a little more planned out. Back in, and I'm adding a little bit more grass. This is a different brush, so it's going to look a little less like I'm repeating the same texture over and over again. These will be thicker, smaller clumps of grass. Oh, back in the shadow, it's important that I actually have this pink glow from the light shining through. It might not be exactly pink, but the shadow won't be completely dark because the thin parts of the skin are actually having light show through. So it'll look like it's glowing. His wings are glowing a little bit, even on the shadow. Just because of the subsurface scattering. What's happening is on thin parts of skin or leaves, light bounces through and reflects whatever the light is instead of making a shadow or a silhouette. So the inside of this dragon's wings are not purple, they're the color blood. Well, they're kind of pink, they're not actually the color blood. I should go back in and make them a little more glowy, but they should be glowing with the thinness of the skin. You kind of duplicate this effect if you come in with a flashlight over your thumb. You can see the subsurface scattering. So I'll just add a little bit of a glow to the wing where it should be thinnest, which is on the edges. These are based off of bat wings, so it is a sort of a forearm. If you were add a new layer, you can draw this. If you were to draw a bat's wing, it's a lot like a human arm where you have the shoulder joint, you have the first bone. I don't think it looks quite like that. And then you have the second bone and the wrist. This is the wrist, and then the fingers. This is the thumb. I'm not quite sure if the thumb extends all the way to make the tip of the wing, but then you have the finger bones, and the fingers of this hand, so you can imagine a very large hand, end up, the sort of thin pieces of skin in between them are what they glide on, and they actually fly from moving their wrist, not their shoulder. So to animate a dragon with bat wings, or a bat, I guess, it's flying a little bit from its wrist instead of from its shoulder like birds. It's a little bit different, a little bit of a, what type of evolution is that called, Jack? When two different lines of evolution come together to form a similar trait. Convergent evolution. It's the same reason that loons look just like ducks, because loons are actually more closely related to penguins, even though they look just like ducks, because it actually is just the duck shape works really well for floating in lakes and swimming